We need to close that deal.
Absolutely. Do everything possible to get it closed.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've had to do proposals. And at the beginning of my practice, I was wondering why I would send in a proposal and then I wouldn't hear anything. It would go silent. And
Yeah.
I finally learned some great tips on, and my close rate went from 40% to 90%. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
And this is what we're going to share with you today.
so I'm Rich G.
I'm BJ Flagg, and this is episode 199. Close the deal. Deliver proposals that sell.
Excellent. Yeah,
And I think everybody will get a nugget out of this.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of good stuff we're going to be talking about today. So if you do proposals, small proposals, long proposals, year-long proposals, you're going to love the tips that we have for you today.
Absolutely. I'm going to just jump right into it. And tip number one is create a multi part template of your dreams. I just say to everybody, spend as much time as you possibly can on this template. We have one that we've honed over 15 years that has so many parts to it, depending on what the client needs,
Yes.
and we begin with that. And then we take sections out that might not be needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a big process of really, making sure that all the components are good. But this is the most important thing that you can start with.
Absolutely. And then also make sure to talk about your key team members and their core competencies because you're going to show that you have a solid bench strength and an automatic ability to apply resources at any problem.
Yeah. They get that feeling right away that you're the team that they want to work with.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then, customize it as much as you possibly can, but be careful not to leave anything that does not apply to them. They are looking all the time for, oh, did they mess up on a little part? What's happening here? We don't even do that. And so you got to be careful with a very clean proposal.
It's so important, I think, with when you do these proposals, what's the real reason you need to get them to trust you. They need to trust you, and you need to show them you understand what their problem is, and you could show them how you could fix it. But what's really happening is this transfer of trust. Like, okay, I trust this person to fix my problem. So that
Yeah.
leads us to tip two is incorporate their words in the proposal because when you do something like that you're going to build more trust. So your first phone or in-person meeting should focus on getting as much info from them as possible. You're like
Yep.
a vacuum at this point, sucking up as much dirt as you can about you're writing everything down because
Yeah.
you're going to just take this and turn it around and talk back to them in their
Yeah.
common language. Yeah.
The ability to start the proposal on that common ground tells the reader a lot. You can tell the reader a lot about their company,
Yeah.
and they will automatically begin the proposal agreeing with you. It cannot be beat.
It's so important to talk back in their language. And if you've had prior meetings with them, use the terms they use so it's easy for them to follow the proposal. I've always said, do not use acronyms, do not use corporate speak, do not talk in your language, talk in their language. And
Yeah.
then the trust is transferred. You're getting it. Okay, I trust this person because they're speaking my language.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things I have always found is like when you do this, you're going to see their head nodding.
Yeah.
They're going to be like in agreement. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I said that. Yeah. In the other meeting. Yeah. We did. We do need that. So
Yeah.
they're basically doing the close for you.
It's true.
Tip number three, be clear, be direct, and look for loopholes. um, make the path to sale as smooth as you possibly can. A lot of times we'll read proposals that have all this information, a lot of boilerplate, a lot of stuff, things in it. It has nothing to do with the present project.
Yeah.
And the best thing that you could do for everybody is just get it as simple as you can.
Yeah. Cut out the chaff. It's so
Yeah,
important that you cut, and like we've talked about a few podcasts ago, you have to eliminate the friction and allow the client to get right to the information that they're really looking for. We are
yeah.
big fans about making sections and subheads, make it easy for them to find information and to reference, because odds are they're going to take that proposal and talk to their boss and their boss's boss and other people. So they need to easily communicate it to other people.
And one of the biggest things is that they have to feel comfortable talking to
Yeah.
their boss.
Yeah.
You're going to do that by providing a proposal that's easy for them to work with. And make sure that you don't have sections in there that could be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
doing you a
absolutely.
big, gigantic favor right here. Anything that could be a loophole, anything that could be a loophole, get it out of there. If it's in there, it's your own fault, and you're going to have to live with it.
Yeah, it usually happens during presenting the proposal where people will go like, "What do you really mean here? Do you mean this? Do you mean this?" And you suddenly realize, "Uh-oh, I wasn't completely clear in
Right.
stating." When I talk to clients, I tell them, "You get this, you get this, you get this." And I go, and I'll
Right.
follow up with you with an info sheet that clearly delineates everything I've just told you. And it's mirrored. Everything I say is on the info sheet.
That
So,
info sheet is such a great idea, Rich, because it just spells it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
one.
everybody should really consider that.
Well, tip 4 is, here's the one that BJ and I absolutely tell every one of our clients: present in person as your first choice.
Yeah.
Here's the real reason. If you don't present in person, they're not able to hear and see your thoughts and what the statement of work will be in person. You don't see their reaction, their body language, and everything.
Yeah.
Most people just mail the proposal, email the proposal, and they sit and wait and wonder why they're not getting any response. Present it in person.
And what's so hard is when they do that, when they send it with no thing, no presentation, they'll go right to the price,
Yeah,
and they'll miss all the detail and the value that you bring to that project. So
yeah.
you're
That
doing yourself no favors.
Yeah, that's the big thing I tell clients, is that when you just mail in a proposal, the person bypasses all the hard work that you've done at the front and goes right to the price. And they all say, "Oh, that person's crazy. Oh my God. Oh." And they don't realize, because they're focusing on the cost and not the solving of the problem. And so when you present the proposal in person, you walk them through their original need. You walk them through how you're going to solve it. You walk them through your crack team that's going to handle this, and then you give them the price. And
Right.
suddenly you've
And
told them a story.
right. And they remember it. And they remember it, which is great. Again, they may indeed have to present to their boss. So you want to give them the tools that are possible to carry it to the next level.
And be professional
Eh,
and prepared. As we mentioned in our last podcast on presentations, this is your time to show your passion for the project and the beginning of how you would treat their account. That's very important. It's a nice encapsulation of the first integration with the client. The first time you're meeting with them, you're presenting, you're giving them the proposal, you're going to cap it off. And a lot of people will say, "Well, we're going to have to think about it." There are some clients that go, this all looks great. Let's do it. And they just pull
Yeah,
the trigger. So because
yeah,
they
and
understand you've
and
proven
you'll
to them. Yeah.
yeah, and they're closer to the sale. Like they are wanting to close the sale. And when you start to feel that that's starting to happen, let them go with it
Yeah.
because then they're owning the presentation, which is awesome. So we
Well,
have a great book today.
yes. It's $1 million consulting proposals, how to write a proposal that's accepted every time. And it's by the great Alan Weiss. I love Alan Weiss. He has some incredible books. I have
Oh
his
yeah.
$1 million consulting book. This is all about proposals.
Yeah. And I think what's wild about this book is it does incorporate a lot of the concepts in $1 million consulting proposal. So you get kind of like a double whammy there of his past work and this work. But it just begins with the basics, you know, defining these proposals and why they're necessary, and then kind of coaches you through the entire process, which is invaluable.
Yeah, and it outlines like 9 key components of a structure. It presents a dozen rules for
Yeah.
presenting proposals. There, I mean, this is Alan Weiss has probably presented thousands of proposals. So
Right.
he's the king of proposals.
Exactly. And I think you'll love all the online samples and the forms and the templates. It's just a really fantastic tool to have on your shelf because this is going to save you a phenomenal amount of time for
Excellent.
sure.
And that's it.
I think you're going to like this first sponsor, Rich. Do you know sometime when you feel like your business is just not going smoothly? The clients aren't clicking, prospects are few and far between, and you feel like you've tried everything and it isn't working. You need to set up a chat with Rich G. One free session, and you will show that Rich is the real deal. He's helped hundreds of companies grow and excel faster than you can expect. Go to richg.com for a free session, and Rich will show you. See, this is always the hard part that I get. I don't want to tell everybody that I'm going to give you, 5 great ideas. But you will help your business absolutely soar for sure.
Excellent. Thank you, BJ. And we've got another great sponsor. As another premier sponsor is New Renew Brand Marketing. As a full service brand marketing company, BJ's firm will act as your marketing partner to get your startup off the ground or your division to soar. Branding, messaging, websites, and support materials, BJ's team does it all. Go to newrenew.com. That's NURENU.com. Go check them out. And thank you to our producer, editor, and king of creative, Richard Scalzo, the man who makes everything happen with our podcast. Bringing you the best small business podcast every Tuesday. Have an unbelievable week.
Catch you later.